Hello everybody, this is my 13th review of movies to come out in 2025. Today I'm talking about Audrey's Children, directed by Amy Kanan Mann, and starring Natalie Dormer. I had not seen a movie by this director before Audrey's Children, and I had not seen a movie starring Natalie Dormer. I've seen movies with her in them, but I've never seen her in the leading role before, so I really didn't have any expectations for this. I didn't even know what it was about before I saw it. So what did I think? Would I recommend Audrey's Children? It was okay. Yeah, I just really didn't like or dislike this movie. I just felt very in the middle. I thought it was kind of bland and forgettable. And the best thing about it is easily the true story it's based on. It's about a woman named Audrey Evans, whose cancer research in the 1960s basically changed the likelihood of survival for children from like 10% to about 80%. And after the movie was over, there's a small clip of the real woman talking about the movie, and she says something very concise, something to the extent of like, go see this movie if you have a child who has cancer, and it'll hopefully give you hope, because it's not the end for them. And at that moment, I like choked up a bit. I was like, wow, this is really beautiful. This woman is a true hero. But I got that from that 15-second clip of her after the movie, not really from the actual movie itself. The movie, despite being about like one of the most heart-wrenching subjects, just really didn't get at my emotions in any way. And the director was actually at my screening. She did a bit of a Q&A afterwards. Actually, a very long Q&A. It went for like an hour. But it was very interesting. And she talks about how well researched the oncology in the movie is. Like the performance of medical treatments was apparently very, very thought out and realistic. But she also talked about how she wanted the movie to be inviting, even though it's about such a dark subject. She didn't want it to be this dreary, unwatchable movie. She wanted people to be easily able to get into the world and enjoy it in a way you would any other movie. And to me, I think that kind of illuminated to me what I didn't like about the movie. I like emotionally brutal experiences. I like movies that are gonna make me really, really feel something. And this movie just kind of felt like it was shying away from the harshness of this subject. Which may be very necessary for some people to enjoy this, but for me, it kind of stopped me from enjoying it. Some of the actors are really well casted in terms of, they show pictures of the real people after the movie was over, and they look just fucking like them. It's crazy. I also just like seeing Mr. Krabs in movies. It's fun. He seems like a very sweet man. In terms of like writing, I think the movie was actually pretty solid. It has some funny moments. It has very like snappy dialogue, and for the most part, I thought it was pretty intelligent. The worst aspect of this movie, though, was easily the cinematography. I thought it was like kind of amateurish at times. There's one scene that's like a shot reverse shot conversation between two people, and one of the characters is covered in sunlight to an extent where the entire image is like white and you can barely see his face, and the other character is really like normally evenly lit, and it just looked like they were in different rooms. It was so weird and jarring and like borderline experimental, but it didn't fit. There's some other scenes that just really were jarring in terms of like, some scenes would have very little visual noise and then it would cut to something with a bunch of visual noise. There were some scenes where they seemed to like change camera filters or something. It was just very jarring a lot of the time. Other than that, I mean, the movie's pretty solid. It just really, really did not leave an impact on me like this story should. One more thing I wanted to mention, a big part of this movie is that the woman, Audrey Evans, didn't have a husband, and there's some hardships in this movie, obviously because it takes place in the 60s, and there's some sexism her way, and she has struggles that a man in her position wouldn't have. But it's also a big theme of the movie that she is independent. She doesn't seem to want to be married. I almost thought, like, part of me was like, is she supposed to be like asexual or something? And to me that would have been kind of interesting to make a movie about someone from that long ago, who's ace. But no, that's not the case. There's a character in the movie who she seems to get along with pretty well, and I couldn't tell if there was like romance between them because the character is married in the movie. But at the very, very end, right after the last shot of the movie, some text goes on the screen that says the two characters got married afterwards. And I understand what the movie is going for. They want to have, these themes of independence and her struggling without the marriage, and they want to show the real events and explain to you the real events after the movie. But it just felt weird, because if you're going for that theme, it's weird to punctuate your movie by saying, and then she got married afterwards to this character. It just kind of felt like there was story that we were missing. It was just weird. I don't know. An odd choice to end your movie on that. Anyways, I'm going right down the middle on this movie. I'm gonna give it a 2.5 stars. I like it more than I dislike it, but still, I just didn't really feel like the movie had a lot of character to it. Yeah, that's it. On Monday, I will post a review for Black Bag, directed by Steven Soderbergh, so subscribe to stay tuned for that. In the description, I will put a link to my Letterboxd list ranking all of the movies I have seen of 2025 so far. Here is the ranking we have so far. Here is where Audrey's Children is, and that's it. There should be a link to my YouTube playlist of all of my 2025 reviews in the description. You can also find that on my channel page, and you can also find it on the left of your screen. Thank you for watching. Likes and comments are very much appreciated. See ya.